Hey y'all, Patrick here, and welcome to 2021, and welcome to episode 7, yes, siete of Show Me What You Bass. This is the show where you guys send in your ride or die, your number one, your ticket to the grave bass that you love, hold, and cherish. But we're just going to go through all these entries one by one. We're going to share our stories with them, and we're just going to go ahead and discuss it and love them, because all basses deserve to be loved. Well, not all basses, just, ugh. And right before we get started, I know what you guys are saying. Patrick, what are you wearing? What is that? It's this insanely oversized hoodie thing. It's basically just a blanket hoodie of sorts. And now that it's cold for Texas standards at least. Do you like it? Good. Do you love it? Thanks. I appreciate that. Do you hate it? I don't care. So, let's just go ahead and get started. First up from Dana Sutter, they say 1978 Fender Jazz Antigua. Mods done in the early 80s, including a brass nut and vintage badass bridge, bought from CME in 2010 when I was 25, and has been my main bass for 11 years. Wife pointed it out, commenting how ugly awesome it was. I had to have it. The original pickup sounded thin, so I opted for active EMG simply because that's what Les Claypool put in his various 70s jazzes. 13 pounds and the most solid bass I've ever played, lowest action I've ever seen on a Fender bass. It honestly plays itself. Nice. That is super rad. Also, that pedal board. I know this isn't Show Me What You pedal board, but oh, that's a rad pedal board. Dude, there's so much dirt on that. Anyway, what we're supposed to be talking about, that jazz bass, and it is sick. Man, that is so crazy looking too. I love the color. It's Antigua. Nailed it. That's such a beautiful color. I love that it's aged. I also love that you just decided to throw EMGs in it because, that's just what you want to do. I know there's a lot of purists out there that are like, you have to keep it exactly the way it was, but who cares? That just looks awesome. And I bet it sounds sick too. Next up from Max Morgan, he says, hey Patrick, love the work you put into the channel and really like the idea of getting people to submit their gear too. You're too sweet. Thanks, man. So without further ado, here's my collection. I couldn't decide which one to send, so here's all of them. All right, so one of the rules for this is you only send in one bass. So what I've been doing is, if you send more than one bass, I'm just going to choose. We have ESP LTD AX104 and the David Ellison Signature Jackson Kelly Bird. And I'm just going to choose the Jackson, because why not? By far the biggest pain in the ass out of the group to set up, but I can't deny how nice it is. Doesn't matter if I go for a clean tone or for a world-ending amount of distortion. It just cuts through the mix perfectly and sounds fantastic. Take care, and again, thanks for great content. Regards, Max Morgan in the UK. Thanks for submitting, man. Oh, Jacksons. Man, I don't really care for Jacksons. I like the color. I like the color scheme. I like the blue with the black. With that maple board is really sick. With the black inlays is super cool. The body, it's okay. The EMG pickups, I'm sure, sound super thick. The headstock, I'm good. I don't know what it is. Just Jacksons I can't fall in love with. The knobs look too close together. That's got to be weird and uncomfortable. And like, what if you hit one of them on accident when you're just trying to adjust? I don't know. But hey man, if you love it, that's what matters. Next up from John with the subject saying, I'm having her cremated with me. Okay. He says, hi Patrick. First, just want to let you know how much I enjoy your YouTube channel. You've cost me a lot of money. Whoa. With the accusations. I can't. I'm not responsible for anything. But thanks, dude. My bass is my Excalibur, the Song Slayer. It's a 1989 Fender Custom Shop 62 reissue jazz, and I've literally played to death. She's not a relic. I bought her brand new. Enough of that. Here's the pics. Remember, every ding, scratch, bit of wear, funk, and DNA is all me and natural. Best regards, John Rockner. Dude, thanks for submitting. Oh, that color is so cool. Oh, man. I love the color on it. I love the wear and tear on it. You've really made this your own. Man, look at that headstock. God, it's been through a lot, you can tell. All right, I don't know how it sounds, but I dig it. I dig the hell out of it. From Dusty Jacko. Oh, wait a second. Dusty's one of my Patreons. So Patreon shout out. Yes, you see these people right here? Yeah, these beautiful names right here. Mwah. Those are my Patreon peeps right there. And they help support the channel every month. And if you would like to be like them and help support the channel and get access to videos early, giveaways, and more, head over to my Patreon page. But back to it. From Dusty, he says, hi Patrick. So here's my one bass guitar. Slammer by Hammer. This was my first bass guitar, which is about 18 years old, and I've had it for 10 years now. It was gifted to me by a friend who needed a bass for his band, and at the time, seeing as I had a couple years experience with guitar playing, they thought I'd be good enough to play bass. Sigh. Of people who think just because you can play guitar, you can play bass. You're not wrong about that one, man. The bass looks rough, but believe it or not, it looked worse when I got it the first time. I do have big plans for this bass one day when I can afford it, basically replacing everything except for the body and neck. It's gonna be a super fun project. Can't wait to one day revive the bass, which is such an important part of me learning to play and basically starting my love for playing bass in the first place. A lot of sentimental value to it. I've started taking it apart, hoping to find a date somewhere on the inside of the neck, but unfortunately didn't find anything. But as you can see from one picture, interestingly, the neck states sample. So who knows what that might mean? B-stock, maybe? Or just like a floor demo one, possibly? I don't know. I currently play a Cort B5 Plus ASRM, which I also love. You should really try and get your hands on one of those for review, but would love to see your opinion on it. But it just doesn't have what this cheap little P bass has. Have a great day. Keep up the awesome videos. Kind regards, Jacques Lowe, Dusty Jackal. Dude, thank you so much for submitting. Thank you for supporting on Patreon as well. There's something about some cheap basses. It's also the sentimental value, but they can just rock your socks off, man. They're so cool. Oh yeah, she's a little beat up, but that's okay. I mean, the simplicity of a P bass, you can do a lot with it, man. I'm excited to see like where the project goes too. Oh man, I wonder what pickups and everything you'll add to it. I think you should keep the pick guard though. I think the pick guard should stay, and everything else you should go ahead and just completely just make it your own. Next up with the subject line of the bass. Here's my bass. It's an Ibanez SR405 with a gorgeous dragon eye burst. I love how many tones I can get with it and how smooth and fast the neck is. Cheers, Dominic. Ooh, that's a really cool color. Was dragon eye burst. Okay, I see it. Oh, man, I haven't tried one of these Ibanez's yet, but just like the double singles in that humbucker just make it look so mean too. And honestly, after like trying these last couple Ibanez basses, they are out of this world in terms of quality. Even the cheaper ones just feel and play so well. It's insane. From Mr. Joel Attenborough, he says, hey mate, love the concept. Here's my number one. It's an MJT bass made in the USA. MJT do an amazing job at relic finishes. Instead of Fender, I had someone make a decal that says, yeah, dude. And in serial number is NJ101112. N for Nicole, my wife's name, J for Joel, me, and 101112 is our anniversary. I like that, man. That's sentimental. Oh, dude, that this looks like Roger Waters' bass, like his main bass, but just on steroids and like it's been through the ringer. Man, you weren't kidding about that age finish too. That is insane. Did they do all the relicing work? I guess you said they do the relic finishes, so I imagine the relicing work on top of that is also theirs. I love that headstock. I love that decal so much. From Brian, he says, hey Patrick, my newest bass in the ever-growing collection. A little unusual for sure. Not sure if I like it as much as my made in Mexico jazz bass, as I've only had it for a few days, but I thought I'd share this rather unusual bass with you, Brian. Ooh, was it Resonator, I believe, right? So a Resonator acoustic bass. I wonder how different that sounds from, I guess, a normal acoustic bass. This thing looks super crazy though. I didn't know they make Resonator acoustic basses. From my fellow Dallasite, Josh, he says, hey Patrick, this is my Music Man Sledge Stingray Classic Tony 11. Long name, I know. Not that bad compared to most Ibanez's that I got in 2014. I bought this from a Premier Dealer Network store when I was in Louisiana for a trip around my birthday that year. I used it for dozens of Via Versus shows from mid-2014 to late 2015. Dude, Via Versus. Rest in peace, man. Such a good band. JD used it for In Cycles and Circles. Also, amazing band. I love those boys. Show Once Up a Time, and Mitchell Mears used it when he subbed on bass in Mona Borland. I played Epi Thunderbirds for several years, but this had a much better tone, obviously, and didn't neck dive. Love it. Last and only bass I needed. It's also a tank. Still looks almost new. Thanks, Josh. Oh, dude. Music Mans. I honestly think Music Mans are becoming like my new obsession. Just when you play a real Ernie Ball Stingray, God, it's next level. It is like going into the next stratosphere of quality. They're so nice. From Michael Smith, he says 2007 Fender American Vintage 75 reissued jazz bass. Bought new in 2007. Mods, shielded with StuMax shielding paint. Badass tube bridge with hip shot, kick-ass saddle set with stainless steel inserts. Hip shot bass extender on the E string. Scotch Bright back on the neck to remove gloss feel. That's a really good idea. I need to start doing that. Things I like. Plays fast, lots of character and tone. Very simple. Appreciate that, Michael. Oh, I love the natural jazz basses that have the maple board and neck with just the black inlays. They just look so slick. And then of course with that black pick guard too, like you can tell it's a super simple looking bass, but at the same time with the mods added to it, you just make it your own. And it's super simple, but it works really well, you can tell. From Mr. Luke Lehman, he says, hey Patrick, love what you're doing with the channel, man. Thanks, dude. Thanks for watching. I just thought I would show you a bass I had built. I got in contact with Carl Pedigo, Chicago bass doctor who'd been working with Lakeland for years. Saved some pennies for a long time and spoke with Carl about building me one of his own custom Carlo instruments that he does on the side. So I wanted something crazy, versatile, and beautiful. So we talked about a 5-string bass with the following specs. Named Lilu after Mila Jokovich's character in The Fifth Element. Love that movie. Carlo 5-string bass strung E high C, 34-inch scale with 23 frets, mahogany body, bird's eye maple neck, ebony fretboard with matching ebony control knobs, hipshot chrome hardware hardware. 3 Lakeland Chaibucker pickups. Humbucker pickups, knobs pull up to go single coil for the front and back pickup. The chrome 3-way switch controls the middle pickup, front coil, both coils, back coil, with passive electronics, volume, tone. It took some time, but Carl really knows his craft, and I would recommend him to anyone who wanted to get something special built. This thing is perfect. An oil finish on the neck, and the neck is cut nice and thin front to back. The mahogany does add quite a bit of heft to the weight, but also the sound. Growly, thick, and punchy, this bass is like a more ergonomic Thunderbird. That sounds awesome because Thunderbirds are the most uncomfortable basses in the world to play. Fight me, I don't care what you say. With 3 pickups, I can get just about any tone I could ever want, and with so much pickup surface area, it's almost like I have a pickup ramp on the bass, making it really easy to play quick and clean. Carl was so thoughtful and even put my name on it too. The bass is going nowhere. Anyways, man, thanks for doing what you're doing. Looking forward to checking out the special basses everyone is playing. Peace, Luke Lehman. Peace, Luke. Dude, this thing, oh my God, look at this thing. That finish, first of all, is absolutely sick. And just the 3 humbuckers, holy hell. I can't imagine the different tones you can get with that. Versatility out the ass, to say the least. I bet that thing is a blast to play, dude. That is so slick looking. From Mr. Gabriel Rojas, he says, hey Patrick, this is my Strinberg 5-string bass, copycat of a Music Man, that I just got for $80 on my birthday last year. In a travel to Argentina for a couple bucks, I got to change all the hardware. Hope you like it. Sincerely, Gabriel Rojas. Dude, I mean, you can't go wrong with Stingray style basses, in my opinion. I think just because of the humbucker alone, even the super cheap Music Man knockoffs that I've played before, they still have a super thick tone because of that giant pickup they have. Next up from Bruno, says, hi Patrick, I'm Bruno Aguiar from Brazil, and this is my favorite bass ever. This is a little bass, was created by a Brazilian luthier called Samuel Martins. I chose all the parts and woods when it was built, very light and comfortable. I could play hours with it. Frio body, Embuia, top, Brazilian walnut. I'm sorry, I know I totally butchered that. Marupa neck and rosewood fretboard. 27-inch scale, S. Martin humbucker with series parallel key, 6 pounds, string through body, around $600. P.S. Sorry for my bad English. Dude, don't worry, because your English is way better than my Portuguese would ever be. Oh, hell, and this looks like we get pictures of the whole build, too. Ooh, that top looks really good. Oh, that fretboard, what? This is not my normal style. Oh, this is not my normal style at all, but God. As a little bass, what was it, 27-inch scale? Oh, that is, that's super cool. Man, okay, so it's not my normal style at all, but I love the color, the wood. I don't know, there's something about it where it just looks super fun and just super unique too. Next up from Gigi Agung, I'm totally sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name by the way, dude. Greetings from Indonesia. Here's my first bass after years of not playing. It's a Fender Jazz Bass 5 Player Series in polar white. Its name is Shiro. It means white in Japanese, as you can see hiragana letters in the headstock. Everything on it is full stock. I set up my bass in low action, reduced the neck relief via the truss rod adjuster. I've tried the American made one, and this bass feels more comfortable. It has a faster neck. One downside, the bass is quite on the heavier side, but I love it nonetheless. Always playing both pickups. One of the reasons is reduce the hum, and in my opinion, the sound is amazing. Gotta love that treble sound. Cheers, mate. You can't beat a good jazz bass. There's a reason I'm a huge fan of jazz basses, just because they always just have such a clear cut, thick sound. And of course, if you want to change the sound at all, you can just roll off either pickup. But dude, this looks simple, reliable, and I already know it's a workhorse too. From Mr. Dane Johnson, he says 2017 Rickenbacker 4003 with Avidician overwound pickups with a hip shot bridge. Love it. Would love to still have my first 73 Rick, but this will have to do. Cheers, Dane Johnson. Man, I just don't want to pay for a Rickenbacker. I swear. They look so good. I know they just have that very genuine, very just unique sound to them too. And I would just love to play a real Rick one day. They just look so good. So classic looking. From Vincent, he says, hey Patrick, this is Vince, audiophile83 on Instagram. Oh, what's up, dude? Bass number 1, my true dream bass. In a nutshell, I've always wanted a Sadowsky NYC jazz bass since I was about 16. Played one at his shop when he was in Times Square. Fell in love with it. Never thought I'd be able to afford one. Well, finally at 34, I was able to get myself one. Couldn't be any happier. Man, I haven't played a Sadowsky myself. I know they just have that very big cult following though, because apparently when you play Sadowsky, you can never play another bass apparently. So I'm both intrigued and very scared too. But man, I've just heard the quality of them is superb. superb. From Mr. Francisco Gonzalez Pimentel, this is my LTD F105. I've been playing with for almost 12 years now and I love it. I had some money saved up and was looking for something with 4 strings, but when I tried it, listened to it, fell in love immediately. The thing I love most is the color. I've seen it in all black all over the internet, but not in white bone color. Hope to see your video soon. Best Poncho. Cheers, dude. And it's not my thing. But the fact that you love it is all that matters. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who completely disagree with me. And that's okay, because we can each love our own basses and still, be cool with each other. I think it's mainly the body style. The headstock I don't care for, but I can live with it. But I bet you can definitely get some thick tones with those humbuckers though. Next up from Mike Garrett, he says, this is my Schecter Diamond Series P bass. It's one of 7 bass guitars in a collection of 4 and 5 string basses. The only change made to it is the mirrored pickguard that was originally black. I record Christian funk rock and employ a slap technique mainly, so I like the juxtaposition of combining a rock-oriented bass with a slap style. Sincerely, Mike G. Dang, look at that thing. Oh, I'm digging that pickguard. Oh, but all I can think of is the fingerprints that you'll get on it. Boy. And also like blinding someone accidentally if you're playing it on the stage. But I bet with that thick humbucker in the bridge combined with that P bass pickup in the neck, it just sounds so full, dude. I will say one thing though. I like the space, I like the style, but Schecter, what are you doing with that headstock? What is that? Come on. Really? From Mr. Brett Frappier, he says, hi Patrick, this is what I bass. Now, I will say, I'm against when you guys break the rules and you send more than one bass, but this is quite an interesting collection. I just want you guys to hear me out on it. Okay. Right to left, Samick Artist Series, which I used to play for my first ever gig. Next is my dad's old guitar I found in the garage. I put it back together and converted it to a fretless bass. Last is my dobro bass. Built it for a school project last year. The tone on the dobro bass is ridiculously good, especially the higher octave melodies. Highly recommend checking out one someday. Thanks for taking the time to check these out. Hope you're staying safe. Brett, dude, I hope you and yours are staying safe too with all this craziness from 2020 just coming on over into 2021. Now looking at this collection, I want you guys to understand why I let all these basses in. Also with the Samick by itself, I hope you see that the capo is on the 8th fret. I love experimenting with things like that. That's so cool to me. That's so fun. I love it. Next to that, he said he had his dad's guitar that he converted into a fretless. I have a question for you, Brett. Did this used to be a guitar and then you turned it into a fretless bass? Because that'd be wicked, dude. Next up beside that, he said, is a school project. Look at this thing. How we were just talking about Resonator acoustic basses. Nah, this is a whole new beast, y'all. I just see the one pickup in the neck. I see 4 knobs. Are all 4 of those knobs used for things? With even better, an LTD neck attached to it. You are a madman and I love it. And last is that little dobro bass in the corner that's in the shape of a flying V. That's just super cool to me. I don't know. It looks really fun. From Dan, he says, this was my first Spectre Euro4 LX. I have several, but for whatever reason, this one just sounds the meanest. It's the hottest, most grinding, yet still articulate of them all. I don't know if I take it to the grave, as if I think I was the past, it should go into good hands to someone who would inspire it, and wow, just like it does me. Dude, I totally understand that. And I think really the take it to the grave aspect of the show is more of just like, just a phrase more than anything. Because I know when I pass, I got all these basses. What is my dead body going to need all these basses for? I would rather just donate it to a school with kids that are learning how to play bass, where it's just like, you know what? I don't need them. Why not inspire other musicians to do that? I really need to try Spectres. I know people say a lot of just really great things about them. I have no experience with them. They have that cool curved body. They're so weird looking to me because they just look kind of like squashed Warwicks in a weird way. But man, they look like they're made of nothing but quality. And I know the meanness that you're talking about with them, with the EMGs too. They're cool. I just don't know if I love them. At least the look of them. I really would love to play one though. From Jesus Marquez, he says Yamaha RBX375, 5 strings, black color, 24 frets, 2 humbucker pickups, volume, balancer, 2-band EQ, active circuit. I'm not into the style at all, but man, look at the coils on those humbuckers. Golly, they look like Delano pickup. I've heard so many good things about Yamaha basses. I do need to try them. While I don't really care for the styling overall, I will say there's something really awesome about the headstock where it looks like it's made of 2 pieces and that the actual tuners on the left side look like they're recessed into it. I just think that's such a really cool design. I don't know. I have no idea if it serves any purpose other than for people to be like, that looks really cool. But hey, it works that way. And last but not least, for the first Show Me What You Bass of 2021, from Mr. Sean Pryor. He says, "Hey Patrick, been watching your videos for about 2 years now. Love your jazz and the Sterling. My Music Man BFR is my to the grave bass. One of less than 100 built. It's a beautiful looking and sounding beast. I was looking for a second Stingray as my band tours 2 different tunings. So I contacted the rep for the distributor here in Australia, chasing an HD yellow 5-string and humbucker. The only 5-string they had at the time in that config was a white special and this. It was more than I wanted to spend, but I couldn't resist. Thanks, Patrick." Whew. What? God, you show me things like this? What am I supposed to even say? Like, God, look at that top. Oh, look at that neck, man. Like, oh, that looks so sick. I love that color. I love that quilt. It looks just so vibrant too. I don't know. I'm super jealous of that. That is so wicked. But y'all, that is it for this episode of Show Me What You Bass. And thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing, for, you know, following me on social media, for sending these in. I love being able to see these. I love being able to share these with everyone. I know I don't make them as often as I would like to, and I do apologize for that, but you know what? Just one-man operation, doing what we can, so, you know, it's all good. If you haven't submitted your bass yet and want to see it on a future episode of Show Me What You Bass, go ahead and send an email to showmewhatyoubase@gmail.com. Please include 3 or more pictures, brief description, because, you know, I'm not the most eloquent speaker, and please just one bass. I know I already broke that rule today. I'm very sorry, but at the same time, they were really unique, so I just couldn't pass that up. But yeah, I'm also about, I think, still 300 to 400 emails behind. It's gonna take a while, guys. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters again. Mwah, one more kiss, because why not? If you'd like to help support the channel like them and be included in giveaways, early access to videos, and more, go ahead and head over to my Patreon page. And y'all, again, thank you so much for watching. As always, I truly do appreciate it. And no matter where in the world you are, stay safe, practice that bass, and I'll see y'all next time.